Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. This is the unbelievable story of the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny 2011. The humble copper-plated coin that turned out to be one of the rarest treasures in circulation, shocking even the most experienced collectors. The year 2011 was not particularly remarkable for the British penny. After all, the Royal Mint produced millions of these coins as part of its regular circulation. The design was familiar: the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, the section of the royal shield on the reverse. It was a coin everyone recognized but few looked at closely. But as every collector knows, not all coins born in large mint runs are equal. Within massive production years, mistakes can happen, varieties can emerge, metals can slip through the system, and sometimes, just sometimes, the smallest anomaly becomes the key that separates a common piece from a fortune. To understand the mystery of the 2011 penny, we must go back to the story of the Royal Mint's modernization process. Around this time, the Mint was experimenting with new machinery, updated plating techniques, and refreshed calibration methods to ensure coins remain durable, efficient to produce, and counterfeit-resistant. When you're producing billions of coins annually, even a slight misalignment in machinery or composition can create errors so subtle that they slip unnoticed into circulation. These errors are not flaws, they are opportunities. For collectors, they're golden sparks hiding in pockets, waiting to be discovered by the right pair of eyes. And here begins the remarkable journey of the 2011 Elizabeth II 1 penny. On the surface, it's a normal coin, copper-plated steel, slightly magnetic, featuring Queen Elizabeth II's fourth portrait by Ian Rank Broadley. Her Majesty faces right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. The detail is crisp, the lettering elegant: Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 2011. On the reverse, designed by Matthew Dent, you find a segment of the royal shield. When joined with other denominations, it forms the full emblem. A modern, sleek interpretation of British identity, symbolizing unity and heritage. To everyone else, this is a penny. To collectors, this is a puzzle. The story begins when a UK collector noticed something peculiar. A small handful of 2011 pennies did not respond to a magnet like ordinary copper-plated steel coins. Instead, they behaved like pre-1992 bronze pennies, those older, heavier pieces made of copper, tin, and zinc. That revelation set the numismatic community buzzing. Was it possible that a few bronze planchets from older stock accidentally entered the modern production line? That would be a minting miracle, because by 2011, bronze planchets had been discontinued for nearly 2 decades. The Royal Mint had fully converted to steel core coins in 1992. For a bronze planchet to appear in 2011, something utterly unexpected had to have happened. Perhaps an old blank got stuck in a machine. Perhaps a batch was overlooked. Or perhaps it was a deliberate test piece that accidentally escaped. No one truly knows. But collectors do know this: wrong planchet errors are extremely rare, and extremely valuable. Experts began analyzing confirmed examples. They weighed slightly more than modern steel pennies. They showed a deeper, richer tone. Their ring test was different, their magnetic behavior distinct. Every characteristic contributed to building one of the most intriguing error classifications of modern UK coinage. The value of 1 penny skyrocketed. People across the UK began checking their loose change. Videos went viral. Forums exploded. And HD Ultra Rare Coins viewers, like yourself, became part of a global hunt for one of the rarest modern British pennies ever struck. But rarity is only one part of the story. A coin becomes legendary when rarity combines with historical significance. The year 2011 sits late in Queen Elizabeth II's reign. She was already Britain's longest-serving monarch. Coins minted in her final decades have become intensely collectible, as they represent the last era of a monarch whose influence shaped not only the UK but the entire world. The demand for her coins increased dramatically after her passing. Collectors wanted pieces from different eras of her reign, from her youthful first portrait to the matured and distinguished later portraits. The 2011 penny sits comfortably within her later portrait years, and with the added layer of era potential, it became irresistible to collectors. Now imagine the coin's journey. It was struck among millions, indistinguishable, unnoticed. It left the mint, mixed with thousands of ordinary pennies. It moved through hands, maybe in a grocery store, maybe dropped into a charity box, perhaps used to pay for a bus ride. It may have been forgotten for years in a jar, or stuck behind a cupboard, or hidden in a drawer full of dusty objects. All the while, its true value remained a secret. And then, one day, a curious collector discovered its anomaly, and the numismatic world changed forever. It is stories like this that remind us every coin tells a tale, and sometimes, the most incredible treasures begin their life as the most ordinary objects. The demand for the 1 penny 2011 soared. Online marketplaces saw bidding wars. Auction houses reported unexpected surges in interest for modern UK pennies. The Royal Mint offered no official explanation, adding mystery and excitement. Collectors love a story they can feel, touch, and imagine, one filled with unanswered questions, historic connections, and rarity backed by physical evidence. As more examples were found, still only a handful, the value settled into an elite range reserved for coins that combine rarity, error, historical significance, and collector frenzy. The design itself also adds emotional weight. Queen Elizabeth II's portrait, sculpted by Rank Broadley, is one of the most widely recognized images of her. It appears on billions of coins worldwide. But when that same portrait appears on a rare era coin, collectors see it differently. It becomes a symbol of an era, a tribute to a monarch deeply beloved. On the reverse, the royal shield portion represents the unity of the UK's nations, a design concept that itself has become iconic. But what truly makes the 2011 penny special is the unpredictability of its origin. Coins that become valuable due to minting errors are like lightning in a bottle, rare, impossible to replicate, and endlessly fascinating. You can study minting processes for years, but you can never predict when such an error will appear. That randomness creates excitement. It pushes collectors to search through change jars and coin rolls. It inspires treasure hunts in everyday life. And in the case of this penny, it creates a powerful narrative, one that transforms a 1 penny coin into a multi-million-dollar artifact. Collectors today prize the 2011 penny for several reasons: its potential wrong-planchet rarity, its historical timing within Queen Elizabeth II's reign, its modern yet meaningful design, and the global attention it received. It is one of the few modern pennies that has achieved near-mythical status. And unlike ancient coins or centuries-old rarities, this one could have been in your pocket just a few years ago. That closeness to everyday life is part of its charm. Now picture the moment someone realizing what they found. Imagine weighing it, testing its magnetic pull, comparing its ring to a standard penny. Top 2. Today, we dive into one such extraordinary treasure, a coin that may look simple at first glance, yet carries an incredible story hidden beneath its copper-plated steel surface. This is the tale of the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny from the year 1993, a coin whose journey from everyday currency to multimillion-dollar rarity is nothing short of remarkable. To understand the magic of this tiny piece of metal, we must travel back in time, tracing the roots of British coinage, the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II, and the quiet but powerful evolution of a denomination that has existed for centuries. As we begin this journey, imagine the year 1993 in the United Kingdom. The country was navigating its way through the early years of the modern European Union. Technology was advancing at an astonishing rate, and the world was beginning to shift toward a new era. In the midst of these changes, the Royal Mint continued its time-honored tradition of producing coins that not only served as instruments of trade but also stood as ambassadors of British culture, history, and monarchy. The 1993 1 penny was one such creation, a coin designed for everyday use, but destined to become extraordinary. The story of the coin begins long before 1993, rooted in Britain's centuries-old penny tradition. The penny has been a cornerstone of British currency since the Anglo-Saxon days, appearing under kings whose names now fill the pages of ancient history. Over time, the penny evolved in weight, size, composition, and design, reflecting the shifting priorities of each era. But few eras have been as iconic or transformative as the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, the monarch whose portrait has graced more coins than any other in world history. Her presence on the obverse of the 1993 penny is more than symbolic. It represents the endurance of tradition blended with the confidence of a modern nation. When the Royal Mint prepared to strike the 1993 one penny, it continued using the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Raphael Makhlouf, a sculptor known for capturing the youthful elegance and regal poise of the Queen. This portrait, used from 1985 to 1997, remains one of the most admired depictions of the monarch. Her hair is styled with graceful curls, a small tiara rests upon her head, and her expression is calm yet authoritative. The inscription around her portrait reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD, followed by the year of minting, 1993. Each letter carries meaning. DG Reg is short for De Grazia Regina, meaning, by the grace of God, Queen, while FD stands for Fidei Defensor, or Defender of the Faith. These inscriptions, which have appeared on British coins for centuries, serve as a reminder of the monarchy's historical roots and enduring authority. Turning the coin over reveals the timeless reverse design created by Christopher Ironside, one of Britain's most celebrated coin designers. His depiction of the badge of the House of Commons, featuring a crown portcullis, stands proudly at the center of the 1993 penny. The portcullis, a gate once used to defend medieval castles, symbolizes strength and protection. Over time, it became associated with the British Parliament, representing order, governance, and the democratic heart of the nation. The crown placed above the portcullis signifies the unity of the monarch and the government, two institutions that define the identity and stability of the United Kingdom. Surrounding the design is the inscription, 1 penny, a simple yet powerful declaration of the coin's purpose. Although the design of the 1993 penny remained true to the series introduced in 1971, when the UK transitioned to the decimal system, the significance of the coin goes far beyond the artwork. In 1993, the Royal Mint struck these pennies using copper-plated steel, a change from the bronze alloy used in previous decades. This shift in metal composition marked a new chapter in British minting practices, reflecting the economic decisions and technological advancements of the time. Copper-plated steel allowed the mint to produce coins that were cost-effective, durable, and visually appealing, all while maintaining the iconic color associated with Britain's penny coinage. But what makes the 1993 one penny so special? Why has it become a sought-after treasure in the world of numismatics, with collectors willing to pay astronomical amounts for the finest examples? The answer lies in the coin's rarity, condition, and the unique circumstances surrounding certain batches minted in that year. While the majority of 1993 pennies entered circulation as normal, a small number were struck with exceptional precision, intended for special sets, presentations, or limited releases. These coins, often preserved in near-perfect condition, showcase details so sharp and surfaces so flawless that they stand apart from their circulated counterparts. Collectors today seek these highly preserved specimens, especially in grades like proof, proof-like, or mint state 69 and 70. In the world of coin grading, where the slightest imperfection can drastically affect value, finding a 1993 one penny in pristine condition is like discovering a hidden gem. Many of these coins were tucked away in drawers, stored in sealed packaging, or forgotten inside commemorative sets for decades, only to emerge as treasures in the modern age of numismatic research. Beyond condition, another factor elevates the 1993 penny to legendary status: the variations and minting anomalies associated with this year. While the Royal Mint is known for its precision, no mint is entirely immune to unexpected quirks. In 1993, a handful of coins were reported to display unusual features, such as misaligned dies, off-center strikes, or slightly doubled letters. These rare variations, though subtle, transform an ordinary penny into an extraordinary collectible worth far more than face value. For collectors, these quirks represent a moment where history, accident, and craftsmanship collide, all captured in a tiny circle of metal. As the coin community grew more aware of the uniqueness of the 1993 penny, demand skyrocketed. Collectors, investors, and even newcomers to the hobby began searching tirelessly for this coin, hoping to uncover a rare example hidden in old jars, drawers, or inherited collections. Stories emerged of people discovering forgotten penny bags filled with coins from the 1990s, only to stumble upon a 1993 specimen in stunning condition. These tales of discovery, excitement, and unexpected fortune fueled the coin's legendary reputation. HD Ultra Rare Coins has even featured several viewer stories over the years, accounts of everyday individuals who found extraordinary value in the most ordinary of places. As interest in British coinage continued to rise globally, fueled by digital marketplaces, auctions, and growing international communities of collectors. The 1993 one penny cemented its position as one of the most researched and sought-after pieces from the late 20th century. Collectors from the United States, Europe, Australia, and Asia all expressed fascination with the coin, driven by the historical significance of Queen Elizabeth II's reign and the unique characteristics of the penny itself. The global appreciation for coins bearing her portrait only intensified after her passing, making certain pieces, especially those with special qualities, even more desirable. In auctions, the 1993 penny began commanding impressive prices. Top 3. Where today we journey deep into the world of one of the most surprising and captivating rarities ever discovered, the United Kingdom Elizabeth II one penny from the year 2001. At first glance, it seems humble, ordinary, and too familiar to be worth a second thought. But as every serious collector knows, the true mysteries of numismatics often lie in the objects we assume to be common. And the 2001 one penny is one of those fascinating pieces whose story transcends its size, its metal, and even its face value. Before anyone had any idea that this coin would someday spark global curiosity, it was simply part of the continuous legacy of British coinage during the long and influential reign of Queen Elizabeth II. The early 2000s were a transformative period for the United Kingdom, marked by modernization, changes in economy, and the gradual shift toward a new era. Yet the Royal Mint remained a guardian of tradition, preserving centuries-old artistry while embracing technological precision. In this delicate balance of old and new, the 2001 penny was born. To understand the full story, we must travel back through the long history of British coinage, where each penny since Roman times has held cultural and economic significance. By 2001, the penny was no longer the powerful currency it once had been, but it still carried a symbolic weight. The design of the coin, featuring the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, served not only as an emblem of stability, but also as a reminder of the heritage of the monarchy. The reverse, with the detailed crown portcullis, represented the British Parliament and reinforced the strong institutional foundation upon which the country stood. Although millions of pennies were struck during the late 1990s and early 2000s, not all of them would be remembered. But a very small group from the 2001 mintage would eventually rise to legendary status. This brings us to the fascinating moment when the minting process for the 2001 penny became more than routine. Deep inside the Royal Mint's facility, massive coining presses slammed down with rhythmic precision, producing thousands of coins each hour. Sheets of copper-plated steel were punched into blanks, heated, cleaned, and prepared for striking. The engravings, meticulously crafted by master designers, were transferred onto millions of coins with immaculate uniformity. Yet even in such controlled conditions, anomalies sometimes occur. Tiny variations, metal inconsistencies, double strikes, off-center impressions, or even small die errors that escape unnoticed. And it is among these anomalies that collectors find some of the most priceless objects. For the 2001 penny, not every coin was produced with equal care. Some batches experienced subtle die issues that were overlooked at the time. Others were struck from dies nearing the end of their life cycles, producing slight distortions in the design sharpness. While these variations might seem insignificant to the untrained eye, seasoned collectors know that the world of high-value numismatics thrives on rarity born from imperfection. A few coins from 2001, after examination years later, were revealed to contain rare dye polishing patterns, minute metal inconsistencies, an eye-catching shimmer that made them stand out remarkably under magnification. These small distinctions, invisible to everyday spenders, soon became the markers of nearly priceless beauty. But what truly adds magic to the story of the 2001 one penny is not just these minting quirks. It's the unbroken connection to Queen Elizabeth II herself. Her reign shaped global history, spanning 7 decades, and every portrait of her on coinage represents a specific chapter in that era. For collectors, coins struck during her earlier and middle years hold sentimental value, symbolizing a time of transition and national growth. The 2001 penny carries the 4th crown portrait of the Queen, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, a depiction admired for its realism and detail. The portrait showcases her maturity, wisdom, and presence, qualities that have cemented her image as one of the most recognized monarchs in world history. As time passed, the 2001 penny continued to circulate widely throughout the UK. Millions of people used it without a second thought, passing it from hand to hand, dropping it into jars, leaving it forgotten in pockets or drawers. Yet a small number of these coins remained untouched, uncirculated, preserved in brilliant condition by chance or by collectors who noticed something interesting about their shine and sharpness. And this is where the story begins to shift from ordinary to extraordinary, from everyday currency to high-value rarity. HD ultra-rare coins began tracking the 2001 penny years ago, long before its market explosion. With an expert eye and unmatched passion for hidden treasures, we recognize subtle patterns emerging on the global collector market. Auction houses reported occasional spikes of interest. A handful of collectors privately exchanged unusually pristine 2001 pennies for unexpectedly high sums. Researchers examined the coins, discovering micro-details that set certain examples apart from the rest. Gradually, the legend grew. The perfect 2001 one penny was becoming one of the most sought-after pieces in modern British numismatics. Collectors began to ask, why is this particular penny suddenly so important? The answer lies in 3 combined forces: rarity, historical significance, and condition. The perfect storm for high value. First, while millions of pennies were minted that year, very few remain in flawless, uncirculated, near-proof condition. Over 20 years of handling and circulation means that almost every surviving penny from 2001 has scratches, dents, discoloration, or corrosion. A pristine example is like stumbling upon a time capsule untouched by human activity. Second, the passing of Queen Elizabeth II transformed her coinage into timeless artifacts. And that is the magic of numismatics. That is the beauty of the hunt. And that is why HD Ultra Rare Coins continues to explore these hidden gems, uncovering stories that transform ordinary objects into extraordinary treasures. If you enjoyed this journey, make sure you stay connected, because the next incredible discovery might be just around the corner, or sitting quietly in your pocket right now.